Hi everyone. So I know it's been a bit since I last uploaded, but I finally got the motivation back and wanted to make a new video. This will have two parts. First, I want to introduce a tournament that I'm helping run, and if you watch my videos, it's something you might be interested in. Second, at least two games on a Japan map that you can play beforehand, then watch me play through and go over the tips for each round after, so kind of like a play-along style. Okay, so the tournament that I'm talking about is Saturday, March 11th, and the map will be in Arbitrary Japan. So it's obviously a Japan-specific map tourney. Uh, I have the time for a few different time zones listed here, but the goal is to have the most convenient time for Japanese players while still making it possible for others to play. It is 3v3, no move. You can sign up as a full team of three, or we're experimenting with allowing people to sign up individually. Then you'll be teamed up with other individuals after signups close. So that's acceptable too. The goal is to still help people that struggle finding a team or don't know people, still help them play. There's also a $30 prize pool put up by yours truly. So there's also potential to win at least a little money. That's nice. The final note, the current plan is for it to be double elimination, so each team can lose once without being out of the tournament. You can sign up in the Japanese GeoGuessr community Discord server, which will be probably the first link in the description. And I believe signups close Thursday, March 9th, or maybe Friday, March 10th. I hope to see you there. And now for the play along games. Before you watch the rest of the video, go play the challenge links. Will be in the description below, I guess underneath the server link. There'll be one game on an Arbitrary Japan and one game on a Balanced Japan. At least that's the current plan. And it'll be 1 minute and no move. So, okay, so for the first round here, we have a couple things to go off of, though it is a very rural round. First, we have a northern guy wire here, um, and also a short reflector here. Uh, both things that are pretty indicative of Shikoku. Though obviously, so this is if it's called the Northern Gaiwire, obviously it's primarily found north of Tokyo and up in so Tohoku and Hokkaido, but it is can be found strangely enough down in Shikoku. Um, this single bar pull top thing is something you can find in Shikoku as well. And while I don't know that it's specifically exclusive, this small like square reflector on the pole is pretty common there. So I think it's most maybe over here in Kochi. So actually Ehime, so prefecture streak 0. Um, but as long as you get Shikoku there, that's definitely a really good start. So next we have, we can tell that we have Chubu, I do believe, because we have the transformer meta. So even though we only have one transformer here, we have the triangle shaped bar down to each of these sides. This is the thing you see in Chubu. And also this here with the metal bracket and this style is also something you find in Chubu with a similar thing in, oh, here's a better example, with a similar thing in Chugoku. We have Silvergrass and let me think. I think especially with this, I guess it's probably Gifu or Mie? Yeah, Mie. Because that was so the Northern Guy Wire is not very common in Chubu, and I don't know exactly where it would be. I don't know exactly what the distribution in Chubu would be, um, but it definitely looked along this side of Chubu. Finding a minute is not that much. Perhaps I should have made it longer to explain. So here we can tell we have Miyagi-ken, Miyagi Prefecture, right off the bat. And I think that says the same. So we do know the prefecture here, but we have perfect examples of Tohoku bollards. So this thicker white post with the yellow thing here and the reflector on top is specific to Tohoku. well, minus Niigata, so Fukushima, Miyagi, Yamagata, Akita, Iwate, and Aomori. And in this case, I don't know much about region guessing Miyagi, but we do seem to be up in the mountains, so we are not going to be in this rather large plain, like lower elevation area around Sendai. So we'll have to see. I'm not really trying to pinpoint most of these rounds. Um, okay, yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense. Um, so especially like even if there's signs, I'll probably focus on just talking through the rounds more than um, looking at specific Amitagawa. Even if there's signs looking for to explain clues rather than pinpointing. So I think so this wrapping here is something that's very common in Saga Prefecture, and I don't know if I'm looking for guy wires or pole tops for Kyushu, but I don't see anything in particular. But yes, this green and white thing, while not super common, is an important, cool clue for. See, and this style is also very common in Kyushu. But yeah, that keep in mind that sticker wrapping the green and white is pretty distinct and very only common in Saga Prefecture. Lastly, we have sign that we cannot see. And I also know in the distance we had for that last round, we had the town name in the distance. I just kind of wasn't bothering to read it because I knew I wasn't trying to pinpoint specifically. So here, the pole tops don't seem super specific from a distance, though with the yellow wrapping here, this is something that is common on these gray poles, like these gray metallic ones, something that's common in Hyogo, and the yellow wrappings at least in nearby prefectures as well. But I think on a whim, this is probably where I would go. Oh no, it's just Kagawa. Okay. Which we can see real quick if there was other things. I'm finding it really difficult to explain and look for clues at the same time. The pole tops, which are a single solid, so like with no holes in it, so single solid piece are like we had in the Hime round, are common in Shikoku. But I don't think I see anything else. Okay, so that's the first one down. The second one will be on A Balanced Japan. Okay, for our first round, here we thankfully, or we have a prefectural road sign, and we also have the city name. Here we just have Shimane, prefix are Shima and Ne, and Matsuda city here. So it's important. So these prefectural road signs always have the prefecture written underneath them, and this kanji is one to look out for because it means city. So in this case, the two kanji preceding it give us the city name. And like I guess the Kago around, this yellow wrapping is something that's found in the region 171 somewhere. It's going to be more out here. Down there. So you can this is still within the realm of like you would see signs, or like on bollards potentially, it would still be talking about Masada. So if you see that, it doesn't mean you're directly in the city limits. It can be outside. So in this case, yeah, it was a lot farther south. I'm that's the kind of thing I'm sure some people 5K. Here we have more Shikoku because again we have the same square, slightly different coloring for some reason, but we have that square style that we pointed out in a previous round. We just have a basic guy wire. And here we have a Shikoku plate, and you can tell it's a Shikoku plate. Well, through the arrangement, it's the top one, through the arrangement of the characters, but also the logo, the Power Company logo at the top here is 4 dots, actually in the shape of Shikoku. So especially if you're close to the plate and can make that out, it's a relatively easy one to remember. We do have yellows here, which a tip with that for Shikoku is Ehime is really the only prefecture where sometimes won't have the yellow wrappings on the guardrails. Um, the other 3 will have them almost 100% of the time. That's that way. Yeah, okay. I would have, well, I mean, you can believe me or not, but I would have switched to Tokushima when I finally started looking around at the round. But yep, so we had more Shikoku clues. I guess it's good review, good stuff to talk about. Here, so it looks like we have a Tokyo, like Kanto plate or Tokyo plate, with the 2 characters across the top and 3 numbers down the middle. Is a lot of this one isn't made of like a silvery material, but that is something you will see quite a bit. There's a lot of times it'll be made out of like a silver metal. And here, this looks like, I don't know if it's Izu Peninsula or more likely like one of the islands, or because this feels very tropical. I mean, surely it's gotta be like one of these. We'll see. But it feels very tropical just off the vegetation. So yeah. So these islands here are part of Tokyo Prefecture. I don't remember the exact reason why they're lumped in with them with Tokyo, though it's not really a prefecture, but we don't need to worry about that. But I guess I would say the vegetation was the biggest clue. Um, these kind of grasses like this, looking at this especially, they're not really trees. Whatever this plant is, feels very much more tropical, much warmer. So within Kanto, those made the most sense. Next, we have what looks like another Kanto. Yeah, so I mean, here we have a plate where we can't look at it head on, but it's that silver metal that I talked about. This pull top here, this like cone-shaped one is common in Kanto, and you can also find it in Chugoku and Okinawa. And here we have transformers. I think these are the ones that are, maybe not. They're sometimes there's like a wooden board underneath them supporting them, but I can't actually tell if that's what we have. But one of the styles of uh, Kanto transformers, and I am not sure. I don't really have time to look around and figure out where this is. Nope, so all the way out in southern Gunma, which it felt urban but not super densely populated, so I guess it didn't have to be in like Saitama or like close to Tokyo itself. Okay, here let's get all the clues first. I mean, so first things first, we have a northern guy wire. This time it is actually Northern and a Claymore, which is not a very reliable meta, but is something that, and obviously it's not a real Claymore. Um, Something it's just the name based on the shape. It's just something you'll see a lot more in the north. And is this? It kind of looks. I can't really tell if we're Yeah. Oh, that's why it looked a little weird. Um, so the plates were hard to tell, but so in this case, these are not real plates. These are just things attached to the um, pole, even though this shape is vaguely reminiscent of the Tohoku plate. If you looked, it's kind of hard to eyeball. Um, See, because I can't even tell. I think these are actually both. I can't tell if they're NTT plates or the larger, because remember, Hokkaido plates are filled with characters and larger than the typical size. Um, but this, so we had all like non-tile roofs. So this architecture is very indicative of Hokkaido. Though this is actually, I mean, it's not tile, but that's a little strange. But this like boxier, um, with these kind of roofs is very much like northern Japan and Hokkaido. Um, I think that was it for that one. Though obviously, I was kind of running out of time to figure out exactly where in Hokkaido. Region guessing Hokkaido is hard, but I guess it makes more sense that it would be somewhere along this coast. That's how it felt. Okay, so 19,000 on that one, and that'll the second game done, and it's probably at a good length already, so I think I'm going to end it there. Um, but thanks all for watching. Remember the tourney announcement, if that is no pressure, but if that is at all interesting to you, definitely all um, skill levels welcome. Uh, yep. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you next time.